Hello everyone and welcome back to the Diotti.com YouTube channel. Here with me in the showroom today I have the modern extending table Winston. Not only does this modern dining table have the convenient possibility to extend, but it's also highly customizable. Let's dive in and discover all the details. When looking at this modern extending table, one of the first things that I perceive are the 4 wooden perimetral legs, which have an important thickness. But this thickness is softened by the fact that they have rounded edges on all 3 corners. Now, these beautiful legs do not directly support the top, but are instead beautifully grafted onto a supporting metal structure underneath in a brown finish. This then creates this little gap between the top and the legs, which is actually a stunning aesthetic, stylistic touch. Now, this supporting structure is concealed. It's hidden about 15 centimeters set back under the tabletop, and inside it there is the extending mechanism, which we'll look at shortly. When it comes to dimension and shapes, Winston is a particularly versatile table, available in a range of rectangular designs and square designs, both fixed and extendable. So if you opt for a square table, you can choose a fixed version in the dimensions of 140 by 140 centimeters, which can comfortably seat 8 people. Or if you wanted, you could instead opt for the slightly smaller version of 125 by 125 centimeters, making space for a maximum of 6 people. However, usually when displaying this table, when it's not in use in the house, you would display it with 4 chairs, only adding the extra 2 when you have guests. This version, the 125 by 125 square extending table, can extend to a dimension of 125 by 195 thanks to a 70 centimeter wide extension leaf. Now, it must be said that square tables are beautiful because they serve the same purpose as a round table, in the sense that everyone has an equal position at the table and everyone can see each other. Alternatively, if you opt for the rectangular version of the table, you can choose from the dimensions of 160 by 95 centimeters, 185 by 95 centimeters, or the largest version of 205 by 95 centimeters. These can all be fixed or extendable. Here in the showroom, we have the largest possible extending rectangular version of the table, which is 205 by 95 centimeters, and it extends to a length of 305 by 95 centimeters, thanks to 2 50 centimeter wide extension leaves. Now, let's take a look at how it extends. Underneath the tabletop, the extending mechanism is contained in the supporting structure. By unscrewing the screws that secure it and pulling on the end of the table, we extend it to reveal the 2 50 centimeter wide extension leaves hidden under the top. Extracting the end of the table is an easy, smooth task, and this is thanks to the fact that there are hidden wheels nestled into the table legs. With extreme care, lift the extensions, which are wood in this case, and place them correctly onto the metal supporting structure, in line with the rest of the tabletop. The 2.5 centimeter thick tabletop is complete with a 45-degree cut edge, and this thickness and rounded edges are recalled on the extensions. Taking a close look, we notice the small gap formed where the edge of the extension meets the rounded edge of the table, and that the grain of the wood on the extensions runs in a different direction. However, when one has guests and the table is fully extended, a tablecloth will usually be used to protect the precious top, and therefore these minor changes will go unnoticed. Winston is highly customizable in terms of dimensions and also when it comes to the available materials and finishes for you to choose. So if you opt for a wooden top, you can choose from a range of 6 beautiful natural wood oak veneer tints, or instead you could choose a walnut wood top. In fact, our table is entirely in oak wood veneer, both the legs and the top, in the color charcoal. Alternatively, you could opt for a top in ceramic. And in the case of the ceramic tops, you can choose 5 glossy ceramic finishes or 8 matte ceramic finishes. And with the ceramic top, the extensions are in the material porcelain grès, which perfectly matches the top. Note that the ceramic top has a thickness of 1.2 centimeters. Wooden table legs are available in all the same finishes that you can choose for the oak wood veneer top, allowing for the creation of a tone-on-tone table, just like the one that we have here. Note that all of these wood finishes are the same that you can choose for the Way and Replay wall system collections, allowing for the creation of a perfectly coordinated modern living space. Alternatively, you can choose the legs in glossy lacquered finishes in a wide range of colors. This being said, clearly the Winston table is a table that you can really get creative with, creating a composition that fits perfectly into your home, adapting to your personal interior design taste. For example, imagine how stunning a table with a walnut top and glossy lacquered legs would be. Or alternatively, a top in the ceramic white fusion with legs in the color coffee, creating a tone-on-tone sort of table but with two different finishes. The possibilities are endless. We've come to the end of today's product review on the modern extending table, which is highly customizable, Winston. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to catch more product reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.